Most of the things you chase right now were chosen for you by someone you've never met. They studied your face, your scroll speed, the exact second your thumb hesitates. And they built a craving inside you so smoothly you swore it was your own. That craving is wearing your name like a mask. And today, you're going to take it off. Start with a simple test. Picture the next thing you want to buy: the watch, the setup, the camera, the apartment in the city with the good light. Now ask one question. When did you first want it? You probably can't answer. The desire feels ancient, like it grew out of your bones. But it didn't. There was a day before you wanted it and a day after. Something happened in between. Something you didn't choose. Here's what happened. A team of very smart people, paid very well, ran thousands of tiny experiments on faces like yours. They tested which color made you pause, which influencer's bedroom made your chest tighten with that soft ache of "I should have that." They sell you the gap between who you are and who the ad says you'd be. And that gap is where they live. Think about how strange this is. You can spend an entire afternoon wanting something, planning for it, feeling almost sick with desire for it, and the whole appetite was manufactured in a meeting room by people who will never know your name. They got paid the moment you started wanting. Not when you bought, when you want it. So the real question isn't whether you can afford the thing, it's whether the wanting was ever yours to begin with. And if it was installed, what else in your head is rented out? Let's go deeper, because this gets personal fast. You think your taste is yours. The music, the clothes, the kind of life you call success. But taste is downstream of attention. And your attention has been farmed since you were 13. Every time you opened an app, a system watched what kept you there and fed you more of it. Slowly, quietly, it shaped the texture of what feels good to you. Your aspirations were dripped into you, one autoplay at a time. And the cruelest part? The desires they install are designed to never resolve. A craving that ends is a customer lost. So the whole machine runs on one rule. Keep the gap open, buy the thing, feel the high for a week, then feel the next gap crack open underneath you. You're a body that's perpetually almost satisfied. That's the business model. So where does that leave you? Stuck wanting things that were never yours, on a treadmill someone else is selling tickets to. Here's the shift. The same machinery that traps most people hands you something rare the moment you see it: leverage. The crowd spends its life reacting to installed desire. They want the car because the algorithm made the car glow. They grind for a lifestyle they saw in a 15-second clip. And they wonder why arriving feels so hollow. But the second you can tell the difference between a craving that's yours and a craving that was sold to you, you get something almost nobody has: a clean signal. You start spending your money, your time, your one short life on things that actually feed you. Let me make this concrete. There's a guy you've probably seen 100 versions of online. 26, decent income, every gadget, every drop, the whole curated grid, and privately exhausted. Broke at the end of every month despite earning well. He finally did something simple, the kind of thing that only works when you show up every day. For 30 days, logging each entry as a habit in Hone, it tracks your streak length without an account, link in the description. Every time he wanted to buy something, he wrote down one line: who profits if I want this? And would I still want it on a desert island with no one watching? Most of the list died on contact. The desire couldn't survive without an audience. What was left was small and strange and entirely his. A used piano. A pair of running shoes. A flight to see his brother. That's the test. Run it on yourself this week and watch how much of your want was never even yours. And notice what the clean signal does to your money. The crowd treats income as fuel for installed wanting. Earn more, want more, The gap just scales up with the paycheck. People making good money still feel poor because the appetite was engineered to grow faster than any salary. But point that same money at things with no marketing budget, and something flips. A course that teaches you a skill nobody can take. A month of rent banked so you can quit the work that drains you. Gear that lets you ship the project sitting half finished on your laptop. Suddenly, money stops being a leash and starts being a lever. This is where you stop being a target and start being a builder. Once you reclaim your wanting, you can point it somewhere that compounds. Think about what's actually being sold to you versus what actually builds a life you own. They sell you the watch. They will never sell you the patience to learn a skill that takes 3 years, because patience makes a terrible customer. They sell you the aesthetic of the gym. The boring Tuesday, where you show up tired and lift anyway, stays unadvertised because no one profits from your discipline except you. That's the line. Anything that makes you stronger, sharper, or freer tends to have no advertising budget. Nobody's running a campaign to convince you to read for an hour, to call your mother, to build the thing in your head that has no name yet. The most valuable moves in your life are commercially invisible. They're quiet, they're unglamorous, and they're yours in a way nothing you can buy will ever be. So flip the whole frame, stop asking what you want. The wanting is compromised. It's been tampered with. Start asking what you'd build if no one was watching and no one was selling. That question has no marketing department behind it, which is exactly why the answer is real. Now, someone smart is pushing back right now. You might be thinking, come on, not every desire is some corporate plot. Sometimes, I just like nice things. You're right. That's the honest counter, and it matters. Wanting a good chair because your back hurts is real. Loving a beautiful object is human, and stripping all pleasure from your life in the name of purity is just another cage. The point was never to want nothing. The point is to know the source. A desire you've inspected and kept is yours. A desire you absorbed and never questioned is a leash. Same chair. The difference is whether you chose it or it chose you. And here's the harder truth, the one the motivational clips skip. Seeing the machine doesn't free you from it. You can understand every word of this and still feel the pull tomorrow morning. Still feel your thumb reaching for the app before your eyes are fully open. Awareness is not a cure. The engineers know you'll see through it eventually, and they built for that too. The pull survives the knowing, so willpower alone loses. If your whole plan is to want better things through sheer grit, you'll burn out by Thursday. The people who actually break free rely on something other than a stronger spine. They change the room, they delete the apps that farm them. They unfollow the accounts that make their own life feel like a downgrade. They put friction between themselves and the installed craving. And they remove the friction between themselves and the work that matters. You out-design the machine instead of out-muscling it. You starve it of access. Picture two people, same age, same talent, same bank balance. One spends the next 5 years chasing desires that were dripped into him by strangers who profit. 5 years of buying the high, riding the gap, starting over. The other spends those same 5 years building one real thing, badly at first, then less badly, then well. Same time, same start. One ends up owned, the other ends up owning something. That's the whole game, and almost nobody is playing it on purpose. There's a quiet bonus hiding in here too. When most of your wanting was installed, your real desires got buried under the noise. You genuinely don't know what you'd build because you've never heard yourself think over the autoplay. Cut the feed for a week and something eerie happens. Boredom comes back. And on the far side of that boredom, an old idea you abandoned at 19 starts knocking again. That knock is the realest signal you'll ever get. and the machine has spent years drowning it out so you'd reach for the phone instead. The work isn't just resisting what they sold you, it's hearing what was underneath the whole time. So here's what I want you to actually do, because insight without a move is just entertainment. Tonight, take the loudest desire in your head right now, the one pulsing under everything. Trace it backward, find the day before you wanted it, find who put it there, and find who gets paid when you ache for it. You might keep the desire, you might decide it's worth a slow year of work, but you'll keep it as a choice, signed in your own hand instead of a craving installed in the dark. Do it with a pen, not in your head, because the head is exactly where they hide. Write the desire down. Write the company, the creator, the platform that grows when you ache for it. Seeing it on paper breaks the spell that only works in the dark. You'll be surprised how often the want shrinks the second it has to survive your own handwriting. Your attention is the most expensive thing you own, and you've been giving it away for free to people building mansions off your restlessness. Take it back. Not all at once, not perfectly, just a little more each day than the day before. Because the version of you they're selling will always be one purchase away forever, by design. But the version of you that you build with your own hands, in the quiet, where there's no profit in it for anyone but you, that one actually arrives. And when it does, no one will have sold it to you. You'll have made it. Go find the day before you wanted it and start writing your own list from there.